Hello, everyone. I'm Paulino Brenner, the host and founder of the Online Teachers Summit. And I'm always looking to opportunities for online teachers and to see what's out there. And I have to say, every day I discover something new. And browsing on LinkedIn, I found Aubrie. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
And she's going to tell me about a brand new platform that I don't know anything about. But Aubrie, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Aubrie, obviously. I live in California, and I taught English in France through the TAPIF program. And then I also have been teaching online now that I'm back in the States.
Perfect. So I believe it's called Lingo Kids Live.
Yes, correct. So Lingo Kids is actually the application, and it has different types of activities, interactive games to practice English. Lingo Kids Live is a new part that they're just starting, where you actually get to talk to, have sessions with native speakers.
Okay, and how did you choose this platform and when did you join it?
I started with Lingo Kids Live in December. The way that I found out about it is I was just curious what types of technology were being used to teach English outside of just video chat. And so I was doing some research about that, and I found Lingo Kids, and I found that they were looking to start this new program. So I really liked that they had different types of technology used. So you're able to, on the app, you can trace the T, trace an A, you can listen to songs and sing along. And then they were also bringing in this online aspect, online teaching.
Okay, so tell me a little more. So it sounds like it's a live component, one-on-one or one-to-many component inside a bigger platform.
Yeah, exactly. So at the moment, we aren't using the app to actually do the video communication. We are using a separate app, a third-party app, but we are definitely encouraged to incorporate the content from the application. So we can say, okay, this week we're going to be doing the lesson on colors. So for your homework, please do these activities. And they're all fun activities or games and things. And that way we kind of have a starting point. We can say, okay, they probably are familiar with these colors and they know these characters. They're excited about these characters. And then we get to kind of use them within the lesson.
Okay, and give us an idea, why did you choose to continue with this platform? What do you like about it?
I really like that it's not set to just one, it's not just marketed to one country. So I had worked with VIP Kid before, and they're mostly in China. I think they're only in China. And what I liked about this one is that it's open to many different countries. So I had students from Russia, from Poland, from Turkey, from Colombia. We had a few students in Africa even. So it was really worldwide, which was exciting.
Now, the things that teachers want to know, how is the onboarding process? How do you get to be a teacher with them?
Yeah, I had to do a Skype interview. The team is really, really sweet and supportive, and so I really enjoyed working with them. We did a Skype interview, and then afterwards I did a trial class where I was actually teaching with a real live student, and they were observing. And after that, they have some materials to read and guides and how-tos, little fun activities that you can try with the students. And so you can browse those and you get set up, you set up your schedule. The nice thing about it is that they don't have any minimum required hours. You can choose to work as much or as little as you'd like, which is helpful. If you have a kind of a flexible schedule, it helps out when you need to, things come up.
Okay, so you started to mention some of the benefits and pros of working with this platform. Can you give us a little bit of pros and cons to the extent that you feel comfortable, if there are any?
Yeah, so I would say the pros are that there's actually one big one that is a pro and a con. The pro of it is that as this is a brand new adventure for them and for you, you're able to give a lot of feedback and really see it implemented. So I was able to say, I think that we should be including more games, and then right away I would see that feedback implemented. Since it's such a new thing, you're really part of creating this with them, and they're very open to that. So that's kind of a pro and a con, because things do change quickly as a startup. It's located in Madrid, and so you have to be flexible to change quickly with them as they grow. but at the same time, you're part of that change.
Well, that could be an exciting part to be part of the
Yeah,
beginning of a startup and see it develop and be part of that development as well.
exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what kind of students are you getting?
Yeah, I had mostly younger students. I think just because the app is starting from a base level of, it doesn't assume that you know any English, so that means that you get a lot of younger students who don't know any English. And so most of my students were under the age of, I think 10 was the oldest I had, from about 3.5 to 10. And some of those students are, more comfortable with the video feed, and you do a trial class to start out so that you kind of see if they're comfortable. And a lot of times the parents are wondering the same thing. Will my child be comfortable talking to someone on the other side of the globe in a different language via video chat? And most of them are. They warm up to it. Some of them are a little bit too shy, and they say, okay, we'll try in a year. But a lot of them, you could get them involved if you had books and puppets for them to kind of interact with.
So you did have experience teaching one-on-one or in class in person, and now you are in this online environment. What was the most challenging thing about changing the environment?
I would say that that you don't have the opportunity to really, let's see, how do I say this? When you're in a class, you can walk up to someone and just say, hey, this is what we're doing, and take a look at this, and that's kind of it. It's limited as far as their distractions, but the distractions when they're in their own home environment you can't really control those. So sometimes I had one student who her favorite thing to do was show me all of her toys, and I was fine with that. But a lot of times she would run out of the room to go get a new toy, bring it back, talk about it. Oh, I have one like this too. Run, come back. So you can't really control that. But if you're engaging enough, I think that they want to come back. So that's kind of on you to make it exciting enough that they're willing to come back and they want to talk to you.
Perfect. And any techniques or tricks that you have discovered in your opportunity working online with kids?
Yeah, I really like using a puppet. I know it can seem kind of silly, and even some older students, at first are like, this is for babies, and then they kind of warm up to it, and they're willing to talk with the puppet, and they get it. You're not taking yourself seriously, so they get it. It's to have fun. So I use the puppet like if they are not sure what their response is supposed to be. So if we're practicing some kind of conversation and they're not really sure what the sentence is that they're supposed to say back, I do it first with a puppet so they get to see what it is, what I expect, and then they can either talk to the puppet or to me. And you can kind of use the video screen as like a little puppet show even. You can get out of the screen and just have it. So that's kind of fun. You can't really pull that off in a classroom when they can still see you.
Hey, I work mainly with adults. I do teach kids in the classroom and I use puppets there, but I work mainly with adults online and I still use puppets and they like it too.
Yeah, it works. It's good for head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So you don't up there.
Definitely. So is there anything else that I didn't ask you about that you would like to share about this platform or your experience?
I don't think so. I think that they're doing a great job at taking teachers' feedback and really implementing it, and they're developing a great curriculum based on the content of their app, which is pretty exciting to me, to have the supplementary app on the side, and then they're using that in their curriculum. So I think that that's really exciting.
Okay. And if someone watching this short interview would like to get in touch with you, then maybe they have questions about your experience, what would be the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can definitely contact me through my website. It's aubrieamstutz.com. So we can put maybe a link in. It's my full name. And I actually have a post on there about how to become a Lingo Kids Live teacher. There's a link to their recruiting form.
Perfect. And we'll have a link to your website in the description of this video.
Great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.